now,
Yeah.
TJ Hawkinson, my number 3 tight end on the waiver wire. Remember, this is going to be a run-first offense. Let's see the whole list. After Darren Waller, Mark Andrews I have as the second best tight end pickup, week 1. Nearly a 30% target share, 4th highest among all tight ends. And since Lamar Jackson took over as a starter in Baltimore, Andrews ranks 5th among all tight ends in receiving yards. After Andrews, it's TJ Hawkinson, week 1. As Daniel noted, he led the Lions in average target depth. He had 4 different catches of at least 20 yards. He looked like the real deal. Hawkinson still available in 70% of ESPN leagues. Jack Doyle played 17 more snaps than Eric Ebron in week 1 and has shown a connection with Jacoby Brissett in the past. And finally, don't forget about Chris Herndon. He won't be back from suspension until week 5, but if you have an extra spot on your roster, definitely worth a look and a stash. Number 5 running back this week, Giovanni Bernard. Remember, 2 games last year without Joe Mixon, 22.6 fantasy points per game. Whenever Mixon's been out, Bernard has always produced. At number 4, Chris Thompson. Look, we know that Darius Geis is going to miss some time. I know Adrian Peterson will be the starter, but in PPR leagues, Chris Thompson, who you want. Since the start of 2017, he averages over 4 catches per game. Redskins are going to be trailing in a lot of games. Number 3, how about Malcolm Brown, okay, of the Los Angeles Rams? The fact is like, I'm not worried about Gurley, but Malcolm Brown clearly has a role. In addition to being the handcuff to Todd Gurley, he clearly has a role in this Rams offense. In deeper leagues, you want as much a part of that Rams offense as you can get. 5 red zone carries in week 1 for Malcolm Brown. Going to have a role. And then, obviously, the upside is huge. At number 2, how about Carlos Hyde? Or the ghost of Carlos Hyde. Like, I got to be honest, looked a lot better than I thought. Credit to him. 11 touches on 20 snaps in week 1. 3 different rushes, though, of 10 or more yards. We know that Texans offense is certainly explosive. And for me, the number 1 running back that you should think about, Ronald Jones. Kind of a coming out party for Ronald Jones. We all thought last year he was going to be the guy. Think about the Carolina Panthers. They gave 166 rushing yards in week 1. That was 5th most, career high 13 carries last week. Alexander Mattison there in the corner. If you have Dalvin Cook, that's a guy you needed to go. Clearly, waiver man, Chris Evans should definitely pick one of these backs up on waivers to potentially save his week.
Saved by waiver man!
Not a superhero. All right, my number 1 waiver wire ad this week at receiver, Marquise Hollywood Brown. You got to love Brown after his breakout for the Ravens in week 1. You know, people are going to talk about how he had just 12 snaps, but he saw 6 targets on those 12 snaps, and he made the most of them. 2 touchdowns of 45 or more yards. Brown has a legit chance to be the number 1 option on a good offense, and now he gets to face a Cardinals defense that just allowed 361 passing yards last week. My number 2 waiver wire ad receiver this week, how about Terry McLaurin? In week 1, McLaurin averaged nearly 20.5 air yards per target, 6th highest among all NFL receivers. 5 for 125 and a 69-yard touchdown. He almost had another. The best part, McLaurin played 91.4% of the snaps. He's the best the Redskins got. My number 3 pickup off the waiver wire this week at receiver, how about John Smoky Brown? Look, I love Brown, and more importantly, so does Josh Allen. Week 1, Brown's target share nearly 32.5%, which not only led the Bills, but was actually 8th among all players in the NFL. Brown also played 84.1% of snaps, which led all of the Bills' skill position players. Here's the rest of my top waiver wire claims at receiver for week 2. My 4th receiver pickup, John Ross. Week 1, the former top 10 pick of the draft, tied with Tyler Boyd for the team lead in target share, 24.5%. He produced. John Ross, 7 catches, 158 yards, 2 scores on 12 targets. And finally, take a look at preseason darling, Mecole Hardman. In the second half of Sunday's game when Tyreek Hill didn't play, Hardman on the field for 90% of the Chiefs' offensive snaps. Knowing Hill is out for a while, expect Andy Reid to game plan more for Hardman.
For more, sign up now for ESPN Plus.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. Remember to download the free ESPN Fantasy app. And for streaming sports and premium content like the Fantasy Show, be sure to subscribe to ESPN Plus.